Hi everyone, welcome to my Wednesday night Facebook Live. Thanks for joining me tonight, either on replay or here live with me. I'm so happy to have you here and to be crafting with you. I have to say that I really do look forward to this every week. It's like my little time to have with other crafters and to share a love of paper crafting. So thanks for joining me and for watching. I appreciate it. As you come on in, let me know where you're watching from and your name. If you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Jaimie and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been, oh gosh, 5 years now, I guess, or so. I just have a lot of fun doing what I'm doing. I love sharing paper crafting. I say it often, and I try to say it a lot, that it's just so much more than just ink and stamps. I just love it. So Terry's here, Amy's here. Hi, Karen. Thank you all so much for joining me. Come on in. Jillian's here. Come on in. If you were here in my home, I'd welcome you in, offer you a glass of water, and we'd sit down and craft together. Tammy's here. So, can't do that, but we can at least, thank goodness for technology sometimes, right? It does have its purpose in life, and so I'm just happy to be here with you tonight. Like I said before, I love doing what I do. I'm very excited and passionate about paper crafting. I was talking over on Instagram today about my mental health. I have been trying to walk every day for about 30 minutes, and that, along with paper crafting, pretty much keeps me sane. It's what I do for me. As a mom, as a parent, I'm constantly giving. You guys can relate, I know, and so paper crafting is something that I do for me. And then I love popping a card in the mail and blessing someone else. So it's just one big ball of fun and blessings. So come on in, everyone. I'm just going to share a couple of updates that are going on as people are rolling on in, and then we're going to get going. This is the card we're making today. Uses lots of new product, which go live next week. Who's excited about the new annual catalog? Oh my goodness, my list is very long. I'm going to be placing quite the order next week. Most of it will be my product shares. So I'm going to be using designer series paper and twine that is in the new 2021-2022 annual catalog. That's quite the tongue twister. And what I do with the product shares, I buy everything and then I chop it all up and then I mail you a portion of everything. And my product shares are all individually wrapped and labeled, making it really easy for you to know what you're using and for you to keep using it and just get the most out of it. So details about my product share, you're gonna want it. You're gonna want all the stuff, all the goods. You're gonna find her at the top of this post here. JaimieB.com is kind of the link for everything. It'll get you to my blog. It'll get you to place an order. It'll get you to my product shares, all those important links. That's where you can go find that, JaimieB.com. Also next week, two huge things are starting, really exciting. I am so excited about it. One of them, May 4th, starts our Join Plus promotion. This is a great opportunity. If you have a really long wish list, who has a long wish list? I know I do. If you have a long wish list, if you are looking to save a little money to get a discount on your product, it's the best savings that Stampin' Up! Has to offer, the starter kit. And it also gives you an opportunity, if you wish, and only if you wish, want to earn a dime, to get the starter kit. So for $99, you get $155 worth of product. That is $30 more than you normally would. It also ships for free, which is another $15 or so of savings. You get a free paper pumpkin kit. You get a pack of current catalogs. You get tons of business forms and all that goody stuff just for $99. It is a phenomenal deal. So never any pressure to sell. You can just enjoy that discount on your hobby. And I would love to just tell you more about it, to share with you the value that you can be saving with the starter kit. That starts next week. Then there's another, I didn't print it off, another promotion. It's someone's gonna catch me on here on my team and correct me. It's collect, craft, and connect, or it's connect, craft, and collect, one of them. basically you get extra rewards with a qualifying order. So when you hit that magical $250 order, you will receive an extra $25 in rewards. So that's lots of extra money in your pocket for savings and to get lots of free goodies. Who wants free goodies? Everybody wants free goodies. So that starts next week as well, and that will run for a month and a half. So all the details you're going to be able to find on my blog. Ask me if you have any questions. You can get a hold of me using jaimieb.com. Again, that's kind of like a catch-all link to get to me. So should we get stamping today now that I just shared all that? There's so much going on right now. It's so exciting. It is just so exciting. I love this so much. And I love being here with you. So let's get going on tonight's card. It's going to be backwards, but that's what it looks like. I'm going to flip the camera around. Last week I had a little bit of a trouble, so just bear with me. I know it makes like this kind of wretched noise, but I'm going to flip the camera around and then we're going to get going on today's card. So let me just put my finger here and hopefully this goes a lot smoother than it did last week. Although, hold on. Oh my goodness, there we go. I tie it so tight so it doesn't fall, but then it doesn't want to flip. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, and we're going to be completely off, which we are. Okay, sorry about my lights. Let me push my seat up and we'll get going. Hello, Mom. Thanks for joining me. So happy to have you here. Okay, this is what we're making today. I apologize for the glare off of my outlight. It's a fairly simple card, okay? You know me, I love my simple cards. I could have embossed this, and maybe I should have. So if you want to add a little extra layer, maybe emboss this pool party cardstock. But it's a simple card, and I just have a simple hello on there. Hellos, just because no special reason, are my favorite cards to mail. It's like, it's not your birthday. It's not an anniversary. I literally just want to say hello. I'm thinking of you. Hello. Those are my favorite cards to mail. So that's kind of why I kept it this way. The inspired thoughts, where the sentiment comes from in the bundle that it's goes with, has really some great sentiments. And I considered making it a sympathy card because I think you could totally get away with that. So I hope you don't. But if you have an occasion where you need to send a sympathy card, I think this card would make a really good layout for that kind of need. There's also just a great thinking of you. You could use this as like a birthday card, a thank you card. I think the general layout will work pretty much for anything. Well, maybe except the Christmas. Maybe if we had like ornaments on the trees or something, maybe not the Christmas, but pretty much every other sentiment on here will work for this sort of layout. And it's going to come together really, really quickly because I am cheating sort of in a way with designer series paper. So when I was designing the card, I originally thought, well, I'll just use soft suede cardstock and like garden green for the top. Or I considered like doing like a watercolor. And then, oh no, it sounds like a shirt in the wiring or a ghost. Uh-oh, what happened? I don't know. Is anybody else having problems with sound? I hope not. Okay, I don't know. I hope it's just, I mean, I don't hope it's not you, Roz, but, okay. So, I kind of cheated. Let me show you the designer series paper that I use because it works really well with this layout. Let me show it. It is called I have to get used to these names. I don't have them memorized yet. Beauty of the Earth designer series paper. This is included in my product share. You will get, depending on what you pick, either a 6x6 or 6x12 sampling of this. And with all of our designer series paper, oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I missed it. Sorry. That's what happens when you jump into a conversation. So all of our designer series paper is two-sided. One tends to be more graphic with images. Okay, we got that one. Oh, hold on. There we go. Let's show you that one. That side, like a fall one, and then kind of lines of trees. Okay, and then when you flip it over, the opposite side of the designer series paper is more patterns. So not necessarily like images, although that is definitely trees, and that's definitely, what's that called? well, whatever that's called. Wow, that word just went right out of my head like a trunk. But one tends to be more graphic, one tends to be more pattern. And so what I did for tonight's card is I used these two here. I used this one to cut out this sort of trunk, the trunks of the tree. And then I used this one to cut out these leaves. And so with very little effort, I mean, gosh, it sounds lazy, but why not put together a card that's really like, wow, that must have taken a long time. Wood grain, thanks, Rachel. I knew one of you would catch it, and Terry did too. You know me, I can never think of the words. I get going here, and the words go right out of my head. So again, it's just a really easy way to get a card to come together really quickly. So let's just dive in. Let's get cooking, and I'll walk you through. My card starts off with Pool Party. I almost said ink, not ink, cardstock. It is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And look what I have. I have my bone folder. I came downstairs to get ready, like, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And I'm like, I got to remember the bone folder. Got to remember the bone folder. And I remembered it, so we're good. Okay, so Pool Party cardstock 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And this is all I'm doing. Again, if you wanted to make this take it up like a little notch, you could always emboss the card front here easily. It would add a nice little detail. A lot of my embossing folders are retiring. I have very few that are left over. So I decided, I'll just hold off. There's really, really amazing ones. Did everyone see the new embossing folders? Like, I love them. Like, I want them all. So I was I'm sad to see the current ones that I have retire, but I'm so excited for the new ones. So excited. Okay, so I already showed you the stamp set. Lots of sentiments, great for many, many occasions. This does come in a bundle. It is going with the Inspiring Canopy dies. Hold on. That look like this. So you get kind of this cluster of 4 trees. You get 4 sizes of leaves. You get this kind of wavy edge that you can do a landscape with, and then a simple circle to do, I don't know, like a sun or something like that. And so I already did it ahead of time, but I'm using this tree die and the wood grain, thank you ladies, the wood grain pattern. I cut out a cluster of trees. I don't know if you can tell, but it is that wood grain. And let's see here, hold on, I just noticed. Here's the thing though, it'll gonna give you like a million of little tiny little pieces that pop out. You're definitely gonna use, where is it? Did I already put mine away? No, here it is. You're gonna wanna use your take your pick tool because it's gonna pop out very easily, all those little pieces. I just hold it in my hand. I run my take your pick tool brush over it and it pops all those little pieces out. And then for like the pesky ones, I use the more pointed edge and you can kind of pop them out. So you're gonna want this. Okay. You're going to notice, though, that my card only uses 3. So I did a little bit of, trimming. I trimmed the tree. And then that one that I cut off, which is this one over here, I used for the inside of my card. And it very strategically kind of cuts off exactly where I had to cut it off here. So this is where it gets a little tricky. I held it and I knew I wanted 1, 2, 3. At this point, I didn't know I was going to use this one for the inside. And so I took my scissors and kind of cut along the branches so that this tree was still intact more or less. And then from there, I decided to trim a little bit more or not trim a little bit more. But it was kind of my starting point was figuring out which branches are coming off of this tree and to cut those ones off. Actually, it's a little easier to do it this way. Like that. And then what else do I have? I have these guys up here. Actually, I think this whole thing I just cut off because it was easier. So, am I still connected? I'm still connected. Where am I still connected? I'm still connected there. I might trim that a little bit more, but, oh, I'm still connected. That is a little pesky one there. Okay, there. And I'm going to trim that a little bit. It's going to look better, but at least it's disconnected. And then I'm just going to trim the bottom. This one I'm going to set aside. I'm going to use that for the inside of my card. And then this one, I want it to look fairly normal. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to basically cover it with the greenery. So I don't have to be too particular, but it does look a little wonky right now. So let's see if I can fix that. It looks like a little off. So we're going to trim that one and maybe trim this one. That one's like got a mind of its own. Holy cow. It's like sticking out there. Again, it doesn't quite look right, obviously, because it's not like this, but we're going to mostly, for the most part, cover it. I'm going to set this one aside. That's going to be our inside. Okay, so then I only use the two. There's kind of two bigger ones and then two smaller ones. Using the two bigger ones, I cut out a bunch of leaves from this pattern here, which is nice because you get all these beautiful, it's like naturally has different hues and colors to it. You're going to notice that the die cuts and embosses these leaves. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So obviously there's holes in it. It literally cut out leaves, which you could save. And then if you wanted to do like a fall card, you could have like the little leaves down here at the bottom. Super cute. But it also kind of not embosses. Maybe that's not the word I want. Did I put it away? Hold on. There it is, my take your pick tool. I didn't do this, but you could sort of pop these out a little bit. Do you see them? They're like they're like half punched. It's not a full punch. Hi, Susan. Thanks for joining tonight. I appreciate it. So you could, I didn't necessarily do it with this one, but you could kind of poke those little guys out and make it a little bit more 3D kind of, if you wanted. Again, I didn't really do that. Some of them come completely out like this guy. He completely came out. And some of them are sort of half cut, so to speak. Okay, so I need my glue, and then I'm going to kind of play with this. I want to get an idea of where these are going. I have two of the bigger ones that are on the top. I think I'm going to put that one there, and then that one there maybe. Did I cut out? Oh, I did cut out. Okay, I'm not going to use this one. I think I'm going to do two big ones and then two of the smaller ones on the bottom, I think is what I did. Okay, let me just get a scrap piece of paper here. I'm going to be gluing, and because it's not necessarily solid, I have holes here, I have holes in the tree. I don't want to get glue on my grid paper. So we're going to do it like this. And what I did, again, I suppose you could either put the glue on the leaves or on the branches, but I'm going to chance it and put it on the branches. Of course, I could completely miss and accidentally put it in one of the holes, which will probably happen. I don't think I can completely avoid that. And then just kind of go like this. Then I go like this. And then this one's going to kind of overlap that way. So I'm going to put a little bit. This glue, you don't need to like completely cover. Liquid glue is super strong. It's gonna do the job to hold it down so it doesn't go all over the place. Okay, I think I want that a little to the. Then the nice thing about liquid glue is it gives you a little bit of wiggle room, so you can kind of adjust it if you want. And then I'm going to do, I think, 3 along the bottom here. 1. Like that. And then there are 2 smaller, what I'm calling leaves in the dies, and you could use them. You could stack them up a little bit more, but I felt like this was working. This does it. And I love that you would never know that this came from a wood pattern, or not a wood pattern, a tree pattern, which I think is really fun. Because it adds different colors of the green with no effort. You're not watercoloring, you're not whatever. It just naturally has different colors in it. So easy peasy. I'm all for, I mean, gosh, I don't mind taking time to make a card. I love card making, but sometimes it's also really nice when one comes together sort of effortlessly. I have that little piece up there. I'm wondering, where did here it is. I wonder if I could layer that one over. I'm going to throw another one on there because that little bit right there that's sticking up is bothering me. I'm just not going to be able to let that go. And I have another one. I have another big one. So I'm just going to throw that over it all. Okay. So You're always late. That's okay, Heather. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining. Okay, and there we have it. Isn't that so fun? So fun, so easy. I mean, my goodness. And here's the thing. There's different, let me get you the 12 by 12. It's a little more darker down here and a little lighter up here. So if I wanted, you know, depending on where I cut it out, I'm going to get different hues, different colors, different variations in my, what I'm calling leaves. So if I wanted darker leaves, I would cut out here. I think I did more from the top. And so they're the lighter green from the top. Okie dokie. Let's keep going. I am going to cut off this bottom and then we're going to just sort of start assembling everything. For this little garden green piece down here, I'm starting off with, it's an 1 by 3 3/4 of an inch. So 1, 3 3/4. I'm going to trim the top of it using, it's so fun, this sort of landscape die. And what's nice about it, and I don't think I'm going to be able to perfectly replicate this, but depending on how you put it is sort of the slope that you get. So just think like with Christmas cards and stuff, you could do like sledding and whatnot. I just want a simple landscape, so I'm going to keep it pretty straight for the most part and not go too far down, meaning I'm not going to lose too much height to the cardstock. So I'm putting that in. I'm going to crank it up. As everything starts to fall. Okay, so let's start putting it all together. I have the panel. So this panel back here is the basic white with matted on soft suede. And the basic white measures 3 3/4 by 4.5. 3 3/4 by 4.5. Now, here's the thing. Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky, and I'm going to try to do my best to explain it. I'm not a mathematician, and I'm not very good with measurements. In all sincerity, when I measure, I usually go, like, I don't do eighths too much in my head. I'll go like 3.5 and a little bit, or 3 1/4 and a little bit. That's how I do like measurement in my head. It's so bad, and I'm sure all my math teachers are like dying right now. But that's truly how I do it. So the soft suede height, that's the easy one, is 4 5/8. 4 5/8, okay? You're going to notice, though, that the soft suede doesn't mat on this end. So normally I would mat it 1/8 larger, but it's not, it doesn't have a mat on this end. So it's actually it's like a 1/16 bigger wide. Okay, so this is where you have to bear with me. Okay, please be patient. I'm not good with this stuff. So this is 3 3/4. I would go 3 3/4 and a 1/16, whatever that number is. I don't even know. Where are all my math people? Is my mom still here? She's such a math whiz. So I don't know. Whatever is 1/16 more than 3 3/4 is the width that you have to cut this. I'm sorry. I really apologize. I just am not good with math. It's so bad. Oh my goodness. It's so bad. But that's just the reality, folks. That's how my brain works. And that's how I do it. I didn't take out my adhesive. I'm like looking around everywhere for it. I love the word approximately. Oh my goodness, Lynn, that's the best. Okay, yes. It's like it's approximately, what is everyone saying? 3 13/16, Beth? Amy said 13/16 too. Okay, that's what I'm going to go with. So the basic white is 3 3/4. So this is 3 13/16 wide. I don't even know how you figure that out, but I'm impressed. My brain works like 3 3/4 and a little bit. It's so bad. It's so bad. And to think I'm homeschooling my kids' math. Don't worry, I bought them a really good math curriculum. Oh, glory. It's so funny. Okay, so I'm going to mat flush to the left. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, that there's no little piece here. So you have to just mat it flush. If you don't care, then just do a normal 1/8 mat. Okay, now we're going to put our tree. I'm going to end up having to trim the left side just a little bit. That's okay, though. And I just want to get an idea for the height, how high I need to, I want a little bit of the grass, kind of 3 3/4 and a smidge. Yes, Rosie, that is perfect. Oh, so you know, Beth. Oh, you're so good. Thank you. Thank you for having my back. I thank you. It takes a village, people, honestly. Like, just because I make the cards doesn't mean I can explain it very well. Sometimes it's just you do it because you do it. So I wanted to have a little bit of the wood grain, there we go, showing. And so I'm just kind of playing with it. Nothing's glued down. I can move this around a little bit because I'm going to show you what I did. I want it like about there. So what I did was, where's my glue? I like left it there because this is where I want it. I just lifted this up ever so slightly and I put my adhesive on it and then glued it down. That way I know exactly where it's going. I know it's the right height and we are good to go. And the same thing for this. I just kind of folded it backwards and it's a little hard to see like where the holes are, but it's good. It's all good. Put some glue on and then fold it down. That's how I found the best way to do this was. Okay. Now it does hang off, so I'm going to have to do a little hair cutting here. Just flip it over and follow the back side. There you go. Okay, so this is the garden green. It's going to go there, but I first want to wrap around just a little bit of twine. I love twine, and we're in for a treat because if you saw in the new annual catalog, they have a pack, the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. We get 5 different colors. I believe it's, oh boy, I think it's black, vanilla, Sahara Sand, white, and crumb cake, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to use the crumb cake one here, and I'm hoping I'm going to do this correctly. I have to admit, this was an afterthought. So I literally had this already glued down, adhered down, and then I decided to add the bow. So whereas I'm going to do it right now in the moment, when I created the sample card, it was an afterthought. And actually what I think I'm going to do to help me out is adhere, use a little tear and tape to hold this down. I'm going to sort of cheat because that's going to be the biggest problem, is keeping this on such a narrow piece of cardstock. Oh yeah, this is going to be so much easier. Okay, so there we go. That way I have a, hopefully I didn't do it too, no. Like hopefully I didn't do it too short. I think I'm good. We'll see. And you know me, I normally don't do bows, but I don't know, twine is a lot easier to use. Forget this. Why am I fussing? Twine is a lot easier to tie a bow with, so I can just, well, I say that. We're going to see if I struggle. If I struggle, I'm just going to end up doing a knot. That's what I'm going to do. When I tie a knot, when I tie a bow, whoops, first of all, it's going to get stuck all over me because now I have glue on my fingers. But a couple of tricks, and I've shared them before, so you might be like, whatever, I already know this. But I don't worry about if it's loosey-goosey. I'm going to fix that in a second. First, I'm going to worry about my bow because it's a little wonky. To keep your bows from twisting, I do it, like, right, this is like not how I want it to look. And then I put my finger in the knot, and then usually this works, because it doesn't always work if it's really, really tangled. But then I pull the tail, and it usually keeps it from twisting. And then the same one with the other one. Wow, that one's so much shorter than the other one. Should I fix it? Oh, that's so much. I mean, I'm going to have to trim it, of course. I don't think I can do 2 bows live, so we're going to call just short tails tonight. I do not dare tempt fate and try and do 2 bows. And then, like I said, it was kind of loosey-goosey. All I do is I put a little adhesive right over the twine in this case, and I just kind of squinch my fingers together. And Karen's cheering me on. I squinch my fingers together, and it makes it nice and tight. So all the little excess ends up like together. So just a little easier way. That's okay. It's not that perfect, but, and I would have preferred longer tails, but that's good enough. Okay. And I'm going to adhere this down with Stampin' Dimensionals, which I know I grabbed, but there they are.
I think I'm gonna use mini ones because like I'm gonna have to go around the the twine. Oops. So this the designer series paper that I used, forget it. The twine here, the pack of twine are all included in my product share. My product shares will be open until May 3rd at midnight. I'm closing them. That's the very latest I can have people ordering them. But for all the ribbon, you pretty much get a yard of everything, including if it's a multi-pack, you get, so like this one, you would get 5 yards in total, 1 yard of each. And the designer series paper, you pretty much get a 6x6 of everything, unless you're looking for a double share, which I do have available. And there you also get a sampling of all the embellishments. So just a really great opportunity. I honestly wish I had known about product shares when I was just a customer and not a demonstrator yet, because you get everything. So instead of having to go, well, I really like this and I really like this and I only can get one, you get one of everything. And then you can decide like, oh, I really, really like this and I want to buy a full pack. So it's just, I think they're so, so helpful. I'm just a huge fan, and they're made with lots of love. Let me tell you, they are, they are done with much love. Okay, so we're almost done. I got this far in my card. Okay, so I had this done and I'm like, it needs a little something else. I'm like, I didn't want to emboss. I already had twine. Oh, I have to do the sentiment too. Don't forget the sentiment. And I was like, I don't know what to do. It just needs a little something extra. And so that's when I decided to do kind of this trio of banners. I have no idea where the idea came from. I just thought, that'll be nice. So I add some pop of color and a little design element. So what I did is I cut a 1/2 inch wide. The length doesn't really matter. I dropped one. Hold on. Where'd it go? Sorry, I dropped the crumb cake one. The length doesn't matter, but they are each a 1/2 inch wide. And I'm kind of like a banner snob, to be honest. I love really shallow banners, and I wanted them to be all the same. So what I did is I kind of held them all together. Okay. And I snipped down them all at once. So I knew they were all going to be the same depth. Like that. And then from there, it's easy because I just go from the outside in. And they should, for the most part, be the same. They will vary a little bit, but at least one's not going to be significantly different than the others. So this is crumb cake. This is definitely like an earthy card. So I kept more rustic nature colors. Soft suede. Oops, I dropped it. Oops, flip it over. Okay, soft suede, and then garden green. This one's huge. I can definitely trim this one down. And this is a really, really simple way to add a little extra element to your card. Honestly, beginners can do this. People that have been crafting eons can do this. But it's really nice. It's a nice way to just add a little bit of colors. A little bit of colors? That was weird. Add a little color. There we go. And then, because you know me, I'm a stickler. Oops. I'm covered. I'm telling you, I have glue on my fingers. Now everything's sticking to me. I'm a stickler for doing things straight, and I love my grid paper because it helps get your eyes straight. It helps get everything straight. So I want the banners on this side, like right here. So I'm just going to put my adhesive all the way down. I am going to use my grid paper because that's what it's there for. And that way I know, do I want it out a little bit more? Oh, you know what I did? Well, I can't do it because it's too far low. But I actually put my card flush to the end of the grid paper. So I knew I had to 4 1/4 to be able to go wide with it. Let me see here. 4 1/4 is this line. So I'm pretty much going to go right up to it. Okay. That's how wide I can go without running off the end of the card. So I'm going to move it down a little bit. Now I'm going to do this one. Maybe out just a smidge. Oops, I need a little bit more adhesive. Come down a little bit, and then this one I'm going to do the same. Out just a little bit. Now, is it perfect? Probably not. There you go. Oh yeah, that one's out. Definitely not out as far. Hold on, let's fix it. I can fix it. I can pull it off still. Listen, if you glue something down like that and you want to pull it off, I say this all the time, don't pull up, kind of twist and pull out, flush, flat against your kind of level, and you won't warp your cardstock or whatever you're pulling off. Could be designer series paper, I suppose. But, okay, there we go. So just, I don't know, a little simple, little extra, little something, something that anyone can do. It takes very little skill. It's just banners that are cut. Honestly, anyone can do that. Okay, so I went over kind of why I chose the sentiment that I chose. Again, from the Inspired stamp set. The Hello, a very simple one, covers a variety of occasions. They're my favorite cards to mail. I'm going to test to make sure I'm straight. Yeah, pretty straight. Not perfect, but pretty straight. We're going to go with it. And then I didn't know like where to put the sentiment. That was really the struggle because I already had banners up here. I kind of had the twine element down here. It's like, where the heck am I stamping the sentiment? So luckily I chose the small one. It fit right there. It was perfect. So we're going to adhere this to the front. We're going to do the inside, and then we're going to call it a day, folks. Lot going on. I'm sure you guys are busy. I appreciate you being here and watching live. Okay, I'm doing that flush to the left of my card. There's our card front. Then the inside, I have a basic white panel that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to take, I'm going to take the tree that I trimmed off of this one, and I'm totally going to use it for the inside because why not? What did I do with my scrap paper? Wow, I have no idea where that scrap paper went. Is it over there? Hold on. I think it fell. We're going to grab another one. I have no idea where that went. I just don't want glue on my grid paper. Now, because this is kind of wonky over here, I'm going to make sure that that's hanging off, and then I'm just going to trim it. So all I have to worry about adhering down is sort of the right side of the tree and trunk. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate the love. I'm feeling the love. I'm glad you liked the card. I always try and bring you something that might be of help to you and might learn a thing or two or just have fun watching. Okay. Try not to get glue on me. No guarantee. Okay, so yeah, that looks good. Again, all this part that isn't like even, it's kind of like not the best looking. I have it hanging off. Then I'm going to just flip my card over and do a little haircut. And a little haircut, haircut, haircut. And no one will ever know the difference. Our little secret that this at one time was connected to these trees and then it was all wonky looking. So I didn't add a sentiment to the inside, honestly, because usually when I send hello cards, I like to write a lot in it. So I left it blank, but you could easily add another inside sentiment. That's one of the reasons why I like the Inspired Thoughts stamp set. Let me show it to you again, because they have coordinating stamp sets for the inside and outside. So like last week, I used the Thinking of You with this one. Let's see here. The Sympathy one works really nicely with this one. The Christmas one could work with the Peace, Joy, and Love. And so they're just great because there's good inside for both the inside and out sentiments, excuse me. So there we have it. What do you think? Easy peasy, right? Totally doable. That designer series paper makes it so quick and easy to pull a card like this together. Honest to goodness. So check out jaimieb.com. You're going to find all my links to place orders, to order a product share, to get everything that you need. If you have any questions, you can let me know that way as well. And thank you everyone so much for watching. If you would like a chance to win tonight's card and you've been watching live, be sure to leave a comment. You still have a couple of seconds. And as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to draw a name for one lucky winner to receive tonight's card. So thank you everyone so much for joining me. I always look forward to it, and I will see you next week, same time, same place. Bye everyone.